Hello and welcome race fans. Welcome race fans from all over the world. This is the most beautiful, the most beautiful Austrian racetrack, Salzburgring. And what can you see behind me? It's the starting grid for the first race of the weekend, of the final weekend of the TCR Eastern Europe Championship. And we are going to witness great championship battle, the battle for the championship title between these two guys, between Adam Coate starting from pole position, and just behind him you can see another Hyundai Elantra and TCR of Matteo Homola. So we are excited for the championship fight for the championship title, and I'm here with Adam Coate. I believe we can have a quick chat with the Czech driver starting from the pole position here on Salzburgring. Hello Adam, starting from the pole position for the first race, it was a tight battle in qualifying, and of course your title chances are still alive. So how do you feel before the first race?
Oh, it will be. I'm excited because I really like this track. You can see it also in qualifying because I was quickest. But we will see. I will do my best. Try to have a good start. But we are in the shadow. The other side is much better grip, I think, with the hot asphalt. And we will see. Good start. Survive the first chicane, and then. Do best job as possible.
Of course, as Adam just said, surviving the first chicane here on Salzburgring, that's always crucial thing. And I can see that the grid is being cleared right now, so we will have to clear it too. But anyway, I need to tell you this. We've got Matteo Homola leading the championship with 212 points. Adam Coate, after his qualifying victory, he has 180 points to his name. So the difference is 32 points, and we have 52 points this weekend yet to race for. So the championship is still not decided. Of course, it may be decided after this race, after the race number 1, but I believe that we gonna see the championship fight till the last lap of the second race tomorrow. I hope that you are excited just as I am, so let's get ready for the race. We will be starting in a few moments, of course, and one more time, as you can see, Adam Coate on the pole position. Next to him, there is a Honda Civic and TCR. With number 8, that's the German driver René Kircher. So it's a split of two Hyundais from Yannick Motorsport by this black Honda Civic TCR. And behind Matteo Homola, and there is a first from the Audis, actually the only Audi on the starting grid with 121, the starting number. That's the Latvian driver Ivars Valers. So these are the first two rows on the starting grid, and I'm excited for the race. It will be very exciting, very tight here. It's a very short track, only 4.2 kilometers, and right now we have 1 minute to go. The engines are running, so let's watch the race. Let's keep fingers crossed for your favorite drivers, and I see you later from the commentary box. So one more time, hello and welcome race fans from all over the world. This is, I guess, the most beautiful Austrian racetrack, Salzburgring, only 4.2 kilometers long, or shall I say short circuit, very close to the place where the world-famous music composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born. Of course, we are close to Salzburg, the beautiful Austrian city, like, I guess, about 30 minutes of a driving away from this place, so very, very nice location in Austria. And we are going to see the first race of the TCR Eastern Europe Championship here on Salzburgring ever, because it's the first time in the history of this championship that the TCR Eastern Europe is being present here on Salzburgring. And what a weekend ahead of us, because this is the weekend when the championship will be decided. And as I said on the grid, it will be the fight between the two teammates, the two drivers from Hyundai Janík Motorsport. We've got the championship leader from Slovakia, Matej Homola, who is the reigning champion, and behind him it's Czech driver Adam Kout, starting from the pole position, as you can see. So it is Adam Kout on a pole position, starting the first race. So that means he won the qualifying earlier today, and he got 3 points for that, which means the difference between the two drivers on a first and second place is 32 points. But we are going to start the race in a few moments. Let's wait for the red lights. And the lights are out, and we are racing. We've got also yellow flag for a short while, but everything should be fine right now. And it is Adam Kout starting from the pole position, but it's a great battle between Adam Kout and René Kircher. And René Kircher takes the lead behind the wheel of his black Honda Civic TCR. Great start by the German driver, which means that the German driver leads the race through the first chicane. Great job by René Kircher here on Salzburgring. Amazing shots from the drone. And this is not a good situation for Adam Kout, because he hoped for a good start. He told us on the starting grid during the interview that he hopes he has a good start, and he wanted to maintain his lead, but he didn't manage to do so. So that means that Adam Kout is on P2 right now behind the new race leader, René Kircher. What a great start by the German driver. So it is still René Kircher leading the race just ahead of Adam Kout. And there is a great battle between Hyundai Elantra and Cupra Leon TCR. That should be, of course, Petr Čížek fighting with the Croatian driver Žarko Knego. It is number 74 on a white Hyundai Elantra and TCR. That's the Croatian driver Žarko Knego. And there was a one car off the track, and I believe it was Ivar Svalers from Latvia, the only Audi on the grid. But all cars are still in the race, and that's a good news. So René Kircher leads the way just ahead of Adam Kout. And behind Adam Kout there is a David Kajaya just ahead of Matej Homola, which means also Matej Homola lost one place. The Slovakian driver and the championship leader started the race from P3, and right now he's on P4 behind the Georgian driver. And there is a pass from Homola. Great job by the Slovakian driver. Great overtaking by Matej Homola, and that means that Matej Homola retakes P3 right now. So it is René Kircher on P1, Adam Kout on P2, and Matej Homola on P3 right now. But look at Adam Kout, he is very close to René Kircher, and I believe he will try to overtake the German driver. It seems to me that the Czech driver, the Czech racer behind the wheel of Hyundai Elantra, has a better pace than the German leader right now. Just look at the situation at the front. It's so close between Kircher and Homola. Between Kircher and Kout. Of course, Homola is there on P3 behind Kout. But he also looks quick in this lap. Let's check the times. It will be also important to check the times of the drivers. And in last lap, it was Adam Colt who was fastest from them all. 1:26.677, the fastest lap of the race so far, set by the Czech driver Adam Colt on second place. So that means that René Kircher is still under huge pressure, and there is a pass, and Adam Colt goes for it, but he didn't manage to overtake René Kircher right now. Actually, it was an overtaking attempt at the same place where Mathieu Homola overtook David Kayaya a lap before this lap. But unlike Mathieu Homola, Adam Colt wasn't so successful when he tried to overtake René Kircher. But still, 21 minutes to go for the Czech driver. So there will be another opportunities for Adam Colt to overtake. Maybe now he tries, he goes for it. He takes the inside. And this is a great battle for the first place between Adam Colt and René Kircher. Side by side, but somehow René Kircher is still leader of the race. Great defensive job by the German driver. But the battle is on. One more time, we are on the main straight of Salzburgring. And right now, Adam Colt needs to take the maximum from the slipstream. Still closely behind René Kircher, but watch out. Also, Mathieu Homola is getting closer and closer. Last lap around, Mathieu Homola set the fastest lap of the race. He managed to do 1:25.9, and he's the only driver who did a race lap under 1 minute and 26 seconds. So great job by Mathieu Homola. And it seems to me that Mathieu Homola right now is in his mood. He is on fire, and he can see the two battling drivers just ahead of him. And of course, this is also advantage for him, but another try from Adam Colt. Nevertheless, not successful, but one more time, there is a possibility for Adam Colt to go for it, yes. And this is a great battle between Czech driver and René Kircher. But one more time, René Kircher will have an inside now. And one more time, Kircher did it, but he goes off the track. He goes off the track, which means Adam Colt is the new leader of the race. He was too quick to the chicane. So René Kircher went off the track into the gravel, and he lost 2 positions. Also, Mathieu Homola right now is ahead of German driver, and there was a huge crash. Yellow flags on the track, and it's the second Honda Civic and TCR, and safety car is deployed. So this is a crucial moment for the race. Safety car is being deployed. It's necessary to have a safety car on track because we have a destroyed Honda Civic TCR on track. Yeah, it was a mistake of the driver, and I believe it was Mertel Motorsport car of David Kayaya. Yes, the Georgian driver made a mistake. He went off, he touched the gravel, he lost control, and he crashed into the barriers. As you can see, the front left side is destroyed. Fortunately, also we can see the Georgian driver out of the car, and he looks fine to me. Of course, most likely he will be forced to go to the medical center for further checks. But I believe that David Kayaya will be fine without injuries, and I hope that we will see David Kayaya also tomorrow in the second race of TCR Eastern Europe here on Salzburgring. But a great shame for David Kayaya because he had a great start to this race. He managed to overtake Mathieu Homola, and for a short while he was on B3 ahead of the Slovakian championship leader. But right now he lost everything, and he will take no points from this race. What a shame for the Georgian driver. Of course, as I said, this is the last weekend of the season. It's the championship battle. and also the battle for another places in the championship. And David Kajaya, before this race weekend, he had 64 points, and he was on P7. And the German driver René Kircher is just 4 points ahead of him with 68 points to his name right now, which means that René Kircher, the teammate of David Kajaya, will take an advantage from this race. He will grab some points, and he will make the margin between him and Kajaya larger. So also it's unfortunate for the Georgian driver, but also a good situation for the German driver in the fight for P6. Car 8 and car 70 got 10-second penalty, so it will be added to the final time after the race. So if I was correct, I hope I was, the car 70, that's Maťo Homola. And of course, that's not a good news for the Slovakian driver, because if he will be given 10 seconds plus to his final time, he will most likely lose his podium position. And of course, that's not good news for the Slovakian driver who fights for the championship. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. But this is a very, very bad news for the Slovakian driver. And we have a red flag. We have a red flag on the track. Red flag on the track. So the race is being stopped right now. And this is the reason, actually. This is the reason, not the destroyed car of the Georgian driver, but the destroyed barrier. And for the track marshals right now, it's necessary to repair the tire barriers to make them all right for racing again. And until then, we will not be able to race. So we need to wait. We need to wait for the barriers to be repaired by the track marshals. And it only shows us how hard was that crash, how hard was that hit by David Kajaya's Honda Civic TCR into the barriers. The barriers are destroyed in the place where the impact happened. So bad news for track marshals, also bad news for the schedule, because it's another red flag today. I can tell you that from the morning it's more or less red flag festival here on Salzburgring, because also we have another racing series in action, multiple historic championships, and also the qualifying of TCR Eastern Europe had to be red flagged because of the crash of the Italian driver Giacomo Germandi. Giacomo Germandi right now on P4. So after the race will be restarted, he will have a chance to fight for the podium, but it wasn't a good qualifying for the Italian driver Giacomo Germandi. He made a mistake, he crashed, he destroyed the front left of his Honda Civic TCR, and after his crash, the qualifying had to be red flagged. His Honda Civic needed to be removed from the track. Also, the track barriers were destroyed, so the track marshals had to repair them. So that's also one of the several reasons why this race has started later than it was originally scheduled here on Salzburgring. So as you can see, all the cars on the main straight and the Honda Civic TCR of David Kajaya was transported back to the paddock, back to the pit lane. And I believe the red flag period actually won't be long, because we are excited for more racing here on Salzburgring. The start of the race was quite amusing. I need to say this, because we've already seen multiple battles for the top places. We saw Adam Colt losing his position just after the start of the race, because René Kircher, the German driver of number 8, had a better starting reaction, so he managed to overtake the Czech driver of Hyundai Elantra and TCR. We also saw a great battle between Matej Homola and David Kajaya, who crashed out from this race. So already we've seen multiple great battles in this race in the first 10 minutes. Right now the mechanics are being allowed back to the grid. And I would like to see how is it going with the work on destroyed barriers, because that's the crucial thing for the race to be restarted. So one more time we can see the numbers. It's car 8 and it's car 70. So truly, René Kircher and Matej Homola, they both has been given a 10-second penalty, which will be added to their final time after this race. So this is a situation for Matej Homola, also for René Kircher, but mostly we need to speak about Matej Homola, because, as I already said multiple times, he is fighting for the championship title. He's the reigning champion of TCR Eastern Europe, and of course he leads the championship. There is a 32 points difference between Matej Homola and Adam Colt, but you don't want to make this dramatic. You want to be safe, you want to be okay, and for Matej Homola, this penalty goes against this plan. So not a good news. Not a good news at all for the Slovakian driver, who had a great season so far, of course. He won the first race of the season on a brand new Balaton Park circuit. In the meantime, one more time, we have the highlights of the best and the most dramatic moments so far. And just a few seconds ago, you saw one more time the battle for the first place between Adam Colt and René Kircher. But speaking of Matej Homola, as I said, he won the first race of the season on the new Balaton Park circuit. The second day he finished on P3. Then it was Red Bull Ring, one more time winning the race number 1, finishing on P4 on Sunday. Then Slovakia Ring, the only Slovakian track in the calendar, and Matej Homola won the first race on the home soil, just ahead of his home fans, of his friends and family. That was a great moment for the Slovakian driver. And the second day he finished P2, so it was almost perfect weekend for Matej Homola in Slovakia on Slovakia Ring, and he did a really great job there. Then it was Most, the first Czech round of the TCR Eastern Europe, and again, one more time, Matej Homola won the first race in Most. The day after, on Sunday, he finished on P4. And guess what? Then it was Brno, the second Czech track in the calendar, and one more time, Matej Homola was victorious in the first race. And he finished the second race on a P3. So we can say so far, on every race weekend, Mattia Homola has won the first race this season. And actually here on Salzburgring, it can be the first difference from this statistic. The race will be restarted with Adam Colt in the lead. Of course, Mattia Homola will have a chance to fight for P1, but one more time I need to remind you that he will be given 10-second penalty to his final time after the race. And that might be a reason why he will lose a podium. But let's wait and see. Still 15 minutes to go in this race. And I think we need to be ready for more racing action and for more dramatic moments. The sign has been given. One more time, we have the 5 red lights on. So right now we are being very close to the restart itself, and as you can see, it's the restart of the race behind the safety car. So let's get ready for the final showdown. 15 minutes of racing ahead of us right now. Let's say we spent first lap or first 2 laps behind the safety car. Let's wait and see. Anyway, I believe we can have about 12 minutes of proper racing in the second half of this race. And as you can see, it's the German driver René Kircher back on P2, which means most likely Mattia Homola overtook the German driver after the crash of the Georgian driver David Kayaya. And if we have the red flag in that lap, the marshals need to determine the standings based on the car position from the previous lap. So that might be the reason why Mattia Homola is on P3 again. So one more time, Mattia Homola will have to fight with the German driver to overtake him and to get P2. But only 13 minutes to go, and I mean, that's just not enough to create a 10 seconds gap between you and between a second driver in almost identical car. So this won't be a good race for Mattia Homola. This won't be a good result, I believe. So this is pretty unfortunate situation for Slovakian driver and Slovakian fans. I also met some Slovakian fans. Traveled to Salzburgring to support his or their hero in the championship fight, but this won't be a happy Saturday for Slovakian fans, I believe. But anyway, the lights on the safety car are out, so I believe we are ready to restart the race again. The safety car enters the pit lane, so let's get ready for more racing action. As I said, it will be 12 minutes and 20 seconds of racing. Green flag in the air, let's go racing again. So let's watch Adam Colt leading the way into the first chicane. Behind Adam Colt, it's René Kircher, the German driver, and behind him, as I said, Mattia Homola. Behind Mattia Homola, Giacomo Germandi, the fast Italian, behind the wheel of his Honda Civic TCR. And the Honda Civic TCR cars here on Salzburgring are so quick on the straight, so it won't be easy for Colt. Won't be easy also for Homola, but just after the restart, Mattia Homola looks very quick, and he is already putting René Kircher under pressure. The German driver under pressure from Slovakian driver of Czech team Hyundai Janik Motorsport. 11.5 minutes to go. Adam Colt leads the way. Adam Colt on P1. René Kircher behind him. Kircher is close. As I said, Honda Civic TCR is so strong on the straight here on Salzburgring, and also Matej Homola told me that all the drivers of Honda Civic cars, they have advantage on the top speed, on the longest straight here, which is not the main one. It's the second straight, the back one, the climbing straight here on Salzburgring. 10 minutes and 50 seconds to go. One more time, we are on the main straight of the racetrack, and René Kircher takes the defensive line into the chicane. He's trying to defend his position ahead of Matej Homola. But Matej Homola also needs to be careful because the Italian driver Giacomo Germandi is closely behind him, and he looks for a space in the inside line. So it will be great and tight battle between the top 4 drivers. Behind them it's Petr Cížek on P5 behind the wheel of his Cupra Leon TCR. Petr Cížek just ahead of Ivaros Valeres, but there was almost a battle between Germandi and Homola for P3 and P4. Giacomo Germandi was looking from the outside and he was trying to find his way ahead of Matej Homola, but he's cautious. He isn't doing any mistakes at the moment. Matej Homola knows very well how to handle his car also under the pressure. One more time on the main straight. Adam Colt still in the lead. René Kircher on P2, and look at Matej Homola. He's trying to find his way through the chicane ahead of René Kircher, but this chicane is just too tight for overtaking. Also, it reminds me the very tight chicane in Most. If you ever see a race in Most, you know very well what I'm talking about. The very tight chicane just after the main straight, and it's pretty similar between Most and Salzburgring. Both circuits has almost the same length of 3.2 kilometers, and in both places there is a tight chicane ending the main straight. But anyway, let's be focused on this battle between Homola and Germandi. It's Matej Homola in a sandwich between 2 Honda Civic cars. He's putting René Kircher under pressure, but at the same time he is under pressure from Giacomo Germandi, and Adam Colt right now, he is taking the advantage from the battles behind him because he is creating a gap between him and Kircher on P2. It's 0.8 of a second between Colt and Kircher, so good situation for Czech driver. He needs to win this race, and he needs to make the points gap between him and Homola smaller to keep his title chances alive. We are racing for... Oh, there was a crash! Almost crash! Almost crash! It was a contact between Homola and Germandi. And we've seen this multiple times this season. Just remember what happened on a Red Bull Ring between these 2 drivers. So this was another contact between Germandi and Homola. And Homola almost spun, but he managed to stay on the track. But there is a fight, and Germandi overtakes Homola, which means that the Italian driver takes P3 right now, and Homola is on P4. I mentioned this already. Honda Civic is very strong here on the straight, on the top speed. It's faster than Hyundai Elantra and TCR. So it's also a disadvantage for the Slovakian driver, and Giacomo Germandi took an advantage from this disadvantage right now. So great job by Giacomo Germandi, but he is lucky that he didn't spin Mattia Homola, because otherwise he would got a penalty for that. But look at Homola, he is very quick from the chicane at the exit from the corner. But right now there is no space for Homola to bounce back and to overtake Germandi. And on this longest straight of the circuit, Giacomo Germandi should be better on the top speed. And this gives him the advantage over Homola. Behind these two cars, another great battles between another cars is Petr Cížek on P5, but he is under pressure from Ivar Svaler, the Latvian driver of the only Audi RS3 TCR. But also behind Valers there is Franjo Dubreta, the Macedonian, the Montenegro's driver, sorry. Great battle, and Dubreta overtakes Valers. Great job by the driver from Montenegro. Great job by the driver of Cupra Leon TCR. And that means that Franjo Dubreta right now promoted himself on P6. So in this group it is Petr Cížek on P5, Franjo Dubreta on P6, Ivar Svaler on P7. Behind them it's Jiří Zbožínek on P8, Žarko Nego on P9. The Austrian female driver Jordan Doliška on P10. And that's the last place, because David Kajaya is no longer on the racetrack after his big crash, which caused a red flag. As you can see now, Ivar Svaler is behind the wheel of his yellow Audi, needs to be careful because of Czech driver Jiří Zbožínek behind him. Jiří Zbožínek is driving the third Hyundai Elantra NTCR, entered by Hyundai Janík Motorsport, so it's a Czech driver behind the wheel of a car of a Czech racing team. But on the straight, it seems to me that both Cupras and also Audi have a better top speed than Hyundai Elantra NTCR of Jiří Zbožínek. But there is a battle! There is a battle into the last chicane, and it's a Cížek who went off. Cížek went off the gravel. He went off into the gravel, but he managed to keep his position somehow. He managed to keep his position, and behind them, behind Petr Cížek, there is a big battle between Ivar Svalers, Franjo Dubreta, and also Jiří Zbožínek. It's Valers attacking Dubreta, and one more time Ivar Svalers is ahead of Franjo Dubreta again. So it all started with a great battle between Petr Cížek and Franjo Dubreta. Dubreta pushed Cížek off the track into the gravel, but Cížek managed to keep his position, and then Franjo Dubreta lost his place, and he was re-overtaken by Ivar Svalers. Great job by the Latvian driver. Meanwhile, Jiří Zbožínek lost his contact with the two fighting cars ahead of him, and in the first sector he was under pressure from the Croatian driver Žarko Nego. But this was a huge lockup by Jiří Zbožínek. He destroyed his tires, but we have only 2 minutes to go in this race, so it should be fine for the last 2 minutes. Let's watch this group of cars one more time on the main straight. So it is still Petr Cížek on P5 behind the wheel of his black Cupra. Oh no, there is a crash between Jiří Zbožínek and Franjo Dubreta. This was too optimistic from a Czech driver who crashed into Franjo Dubreta, the driver of number 48 Cupra Leon TCR. I said already, and I said it multiple times, that the first chicane here on Salzburgring is just too tight for overtaking. But even though it's so tight, Jiří Zbožínek tried to attack Franjo Dubreta anyway, and he crashed into him and he spun him. So this was a dirty moment between the Czech driver and Franjo Dubreta. And let's wait and see if Franjo Dubreta got any damage. But I believe that Franjo Dubreta will be able to finish this race. But what a situation. And I guess this will be investigated by the stewards. The stewards need to look at this, and most likely that is a possible penalty for the Czech driver Jiří Zbožínek for crashing into Franjo Dubreta. As I said, it was just too optimistic to believe that it is possible to overtake in the first chicane. And of course, Franjo Dubreta was ahead of Jiří Zbožínek, so he had the right to choose his way, and he did so. He closed the door, and as you saw, there was no space for two cars fighting wheel to wheel. Last lap of the race, ladies and gentlemen, and what a race it was. We are focused on Adam Colt, our race leader, and we are ready to welcome Adam Colt here in Salzburgring as the winner of the race one. So the Czech driver Adam Colt is the winner of race one of TCR Eastern Europe here on Salzburgring. A great job by the Czech driver, and it's the second race win in a row for Adam Colt, who grabs another 25 points. It's the second place for René Kircher, and it's the P3 for Giacomo Germandi. And we need to wait for the time penalty, which will be given to Mathieu Homola. Mathieu Homola will get 10 seconds plus to his final time, which means the gap between Adam Colt and Mathieu Homola will be 13 seconds and 191 thousandths of a second. And I guess that Mathieu Homola will be on P7. So quite possibly Mathieu Homola will be on P7, and I'm gonna try to do a quick calculation of the points standings. Before the race, Mathieu Homola had a 212, so if he truly will be on P7, he will only get 6 points, so it will be 218 for Mathieu Homola, and Adam Colt gets 25 points for the race victory, which means he has 205. So one more time, 205 and 218. The difference is 13 points if I'm right. If I'm right, the difference between Homola and Colt is 13 points, which means the championship will be decided tomorrow in the second race. Of course, we also play for the 1 point for the fastest lap of the race. The 1 point will be given, or shall be given, to Mathieu Homola, so it will be 219 versus 205, but still only 14 points between Mathieu Homola and Adam Colt, and the situation is still the same. The championship should be decided tomorrow after the race number 2, because we will still have 26 points to find for. 25 points for the race winner and 1 point for the fastest lap of the race. So one more time, here are the results of the first race of the TCR Eastern Europe here on Salzburgring.